Reef nodded. A lot of brain damage, too. He screams a lot, especially when he gets upset, so they get people to read to him. Helps calm him down. Fuck, breathed Bigger. He'd give me the creeps. Did me too at first, agreed Reef, especially the drooling. Oh man, moaned Jink. You're freaking me out here. You pussy, said Scar. Try looking in the mirror next time you eat tacos. Now that's disgusting. Ooh, man, she got you, Bigger crowed as he high-fived Scar. Reef looked at his friends, knew they didn't understand. For some reason, he wanted them to know what it was really like. When all the catcalling had died down, he continued, Wasn't so bad after I got used to it. Someone left a newspaper in the room and I just read to him. Don't know if he understood any of it, but it kept him quiet. He shrugged. First time I ever read a paper from front to back. There's a lot of shit going on I never knew about. Speaking of things going on, said Jink, you heard about the pit? Reef nodded. About the store they're putting up? I seen it in the paper. He'd read Stephen an article about a sports equipment outlet that was supposed to revitalize the downtown core. For yuppie faggots, Bigger snickered. Hey, interrupted Jink, you know what you call two queers wearing spandex? No, what do you call two queers wearing spandex, honey? They all glanced up to see Alex glide out onto the veranda and lean against the railing in what had to be his most dramatic pose. Reef groaned inside. Somewhere a phone rang, but the sound was muffled by the sudden roaring in his ears. Jink stared at Alex as if seeing proof of extraterrestrial life, but his expression paled in comparison with Bigger's, whose face suddenly looked like the can Reef had crumpled a few nights ago. His eyes narrowed to slits and his lips twisted into a diagonal sneer. Only Scar revealed no physical reaction to Alex's presence. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friends, Reef? Alex asked elaborately. He tossed his head like those women in shampoo commercials, his long blonde hair cascading over his face. Reef stood up awkwardly, and so did the others. Guys, this is Alex. Alex, this is Scar, Jink, and Bigger. You certainly are, Alex said, his words an exaggerated lisp as he dangled his hand toward Bigger. Bigger didn't move, simply stared at the hand as though it were a separate living thing that had crawled out from under some rock and now floated disembodied in the air. Reef's face burned. Leave it to Alex to put on a fucking performance. Nice to meet you, Alex. Reef was grateful for Scar, who took Alex's hand and shook it. Jink watched the exchange as if mesmerized, then gave Reef a hard, questioning stare. At that moment, Greg Matheson came around from the back of the house. Guys, sorry to cut this short, but my wife just called. My 6-year-old fell off her bike and shouted her chin. I'm going to run you home on my way to outpatients. Reef released the breath he hadn't known he was holding. Jink was still staring at Reef when he said, It's okay. We was about finished here anyway. Yeah, Bigger agreed quickly. Glad you can make it, guys, Reef said. His comment sounded ridiculous even to him, something out of I Dream of Jeannie. They nodded, then went down the steps 2 at a time and folded themselves into the back seat of Matheson's car. Scar gave him a quick kiss and said, Next time, call me. Turning, she hurried down the steps, then looked back as she was getting into the car. Nice to meet you, Alex, she said. The Escort seemed to churn as it started, backfired twice, emitted a plume of blue-black smoke, and then coughed down the driveway. This time, Reef didn't watch it go, instead opening the door and heading into the house. I really don't think your friends liked me, Alex called after him, his voice theatrically melodious. Reef said nothing, just climbed the stairs toward his room. But every footstep on the oak treads conveyed an unmistakable fuck you.